morning, guys. Hello. I hope you guys slept well. Good morning. I hope you guys slept well. And today is a good day. Today is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. Let God be true and every other man be a liar. Good morning. Ciao. Good morning. Good morning, guys. I got on here a couple minutes early, but good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Kenyata, what color are you doing here? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Sorry. Good morning. How are you guys? Thank you for the heart meet. Sorry, somebody was trying to text me this morning and I was trying to answer it. Good morning. Good morning, Christina. I hope you had a great night. Listen, good morning, Dom. I am a little tired still this morning, and I did get up and work out. So, y'all, just when this is how intentional God wants us to be. Just when to whom much is given, much is required. I've thought I was doing the things. I walk in to my trainer yesterday, and I didn't gain weight. I didn't lose this week. And I kind of told him, like, I was following a meal plan. Thanks for sharing, Dom. I was following a meal plan. So I'm like, I didn't do it on Saturday and Sunday because I was at my office all day Sunday. I ended up eating late. Same thing on Saturday. Anyways, long story short, he was like, oh, that's cool. He was like, wait a minute. Are you doing, listen, I had already said that I was going to start a new goal this week, right? When it comes to working out. So he was like, are you doing cardio 4 times a week? So in my mind, if I'm here 3 times a week, I told myself I was going to work out 6 times during the week. He just told me I need to be doing cardio for 4 days on top of my 3 days. So now I have to be in the gym 7 days a week. To whom much is given, much is required. So although it's cold, although I don't want to get out my bed because it's 26 degrees, because of the things, it's early morning, I don't want to do the things, right? I make sure that I am intentional because I ask God to be disciplined in every area of my life. And I do know that faith without works is dead. So God intentionally allowing me to get up at 3 a.m. and then I have to be the one to do the work. So now I am in the gym 7 days a week. 7 days a week, y'all. But if I want it to become my lifestyle and not just a thing, because sometimes we want a thing, right? We want a thing for a certain thing. So we'll be like, oh, let me lose 15 pounds for my birthday, or let me do this, or let me do this for this. In all actuality, we never set a real goal. We never just do a life changing moment. We do things spare of the moment for a certain thing. I no longer want to be like that. So I want to make sure everything that I am doing is with intent. So if I'm going to do this thing, I want to do this thing, and it's actually a lifestyle. So my environment should not change my routine. My environment should not change my discipline. My environment should have nothing to do with what I've already had set forth to do. Because if my environment can change the thing, that means I don't value it enough. I value working out because I get to work out. A lot of people can't work out. A lot of people are bound to wheelchairs. A lot of people are just have certain handicaps that stop them from doing the things, right? Good morning, Alexis. Thank you for joining. I get to do the thing. So I'm blessed that God put me in position that I am able to do the thing, and I'm wanting to be disciplined. So the things that I'm intentional about in these seasons, like from here on out, it's me. Hey, Precious, thank you for the heart meat. It's me being intentional and valuing these things, not making them an idol, but valuing them so much that no matter where I am, my routine will not change because of my environment. My routine will not stop my environment. So if Kenyata says Kenyata's going to get up and go work out at 3 a.m. and work out from 4 to 5, and then Kenyata's going to read her Bible from 5 to 6, that's Kenyata starting a routine. That routine should not change if Kenyata is in warm weather, if Kenyata is in cold weather, if Kenyata just don't feel like it. I am really... Listen, discipline has always been an area in my life, right? Where I would start something, I would stop it, and then I'll be like, oh, I'm going to pick it back up. But I'm so intentional about this. I never want... Listen, I value these things so much. It's a value to me that I have to do it. So, like, outside of this being a value to me, and again, not an idol to me, but I'm valuing this thing so much that it's going to give me the drive. Even when I don't have the motivation, my discipline is going to trump my motivation. So I'm valuing these things that God allows me to do. So I'm valuing getting on here. God allows me to do it. I'm valuing getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. God allows me to do it. I value in actually being able to work out because my body is physically capable of doing it. I value these things, and not even that. I value what God has built here in my company. I value this because I understand what I had to go through for it to get here. I value it because I understand this is what changed the trajectory for my family. I value it because this is what set me apart from being just a regular worker. I value it because I had to work hard to get it. I don't idolize it, but I value it enough that I know that if Kenyata don't get up, hey Imani, thank you for joining. If Kenyata don't do the thing, if Kenyata is not disciplined, that everybody behind me can fall because Kenyata didn't do her job. I value those people enough that I am attached to. I value my kids enough that I don't want them to be in a situation that I can't provide. I value everything with the intent and discipline. So I have to be disciplined in every area of my life and value those things because I understood what it took to get there, and I understand that it's a humbling experience, and I understand getting out of your bed at 3 o'clock in the morning is a humbling experience. To actually leave your house physically, to actually go to a place, to actually get dressed and it's 26 degrees outside, that's a humbling experience. Good morning, Amanda. A humbling experience. So now I'm like, okay, God, if I can be disciplined in this one area, if this can become my lifestyle, if this thing could change the trajectory and for me, because longevity wise, you will want to be here for your family. So we know that health is wealth, right? So if this thing is going to be the thing that drives me for the rest of my life, give it to me. Give it to me, God. I'm going to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning every single day if this is the thing that's going to drive me for the rest of my life. Hand it here. Give it to me. Because to whom much is given, much is required. And my routine will not change because of my feelings. My routine will not change because of my environment. My routine will not change because of who I'm around. If I say I'm going to work out at 3 a.m. and Precious called me at 3 a.m. and say, Ken, I need you to do X, Y, Z. Precious, if this is not an emergency, my routine is valued. I can't switch this up because this is the time that I hollow out. This is an agreement that I made with God. Now, if it's an emergency, here I am. I'm on my way. Don't even worry about it. But right now, if this is not an emergency, I value this time so much. I value what God has allowed me to do so much. I have to be consistent with this thing. No matter who calls me, you cannot change this routine. I'm trying, still laying in the bed. I'm about to move around though. Yes. I'm glad you're feeling better. That's how intentional I am. That's how intentional that I'm trying to be. Like, really be disciplined. I have noticed that has been an area in my life that has been, I have to conquer this thing. Like, I'm so serious about it. I be telling my trainer I'm never getting fat again, but that's not what I'm saying. Like, but for real, I am never getting this comfortable again, because look where my comfort got me. My comfort got me not wanting to. And think about how many things, like this was a small thing, but how we do one thing is how we do everything. So if my comfort can tell me, Kenyata, if my flesh can say, Kenyata, you don't have to go out there. It's too cold. You can get back in the bed. And my spirit is fighting every day to say, oh no, you're physically capable. You can get up. What's wrong with you? You can get up and move and get your clothes on, get dressed, because that's all you got to do is get dressed. And then you're going to go. If that little seed can be planted and whispered from the enemy, oh, it's cold, you don't need to do nothing. Oh, you already got everything. You don't need to study more. Oh, you know that. Like the back, you don't have to perfect your craft in that. If the enemy can deceive me and whisper in my ear with something that small about working out, think about all the things that he did to deceive me. Think about everything that I came into agreement with. Just because I wasn't disciplined in that one area, it required me not to be disciplined in all the areas of my life. So this time, I refuse. Like, the enemy cannot listen. I refuse. I am going to conquer this thing wholeheartedly. No matter if I don't feel like it. No matter if I literally have to. My flesh be talking to me every morning. It's cold out there. Why don't you just stay under your cover? And I say, no. I'm getting up. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm washing my face. I'm putting my clothes on. I have made it to the point that I get my clothes out at night. I don't even give my brain time enough to say you can't. Like, you don't. I don't even give the enemy time to whisper in my ear. I cannot let you let me fail in this area. My job is to be a disciplined human being. A disciplined servant of God. A disciplined steward of God. A disciplined to show God that I honor the body that he gave me. I honor the things that he's allowed me to be capable of. I am no longer allowing discipline to trump my life. Like, it can't happen. Not on my watch. It can't happen. Good morning, Brenda. It can't happen. I no longer, listen, it's crazy. Like, I'm not even playing with this discipline stuff. It's really gotten out of hand because it's been doing too much in my life for too long, and I can no longer allow it to take up space. It can no longer stop me at all. Because if I can be disciplined to get up at 3 a.m, think about this. If I can be disciplined to get up at 3 a.m, and I say, okay, God, I'm getting on here. Y'all see I come on here every day at 8 a.m, right? If I say, God, I'm going to be disciplined from 4 to 5 and work out. From 5 to 6, I want to spend time with you. I'm already ahead of the game. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? People are sleeping and I'm already ahead of the game. I have already done the things. I have done several things before people even wake up at a normal time. And that's what's going to set me apart. So I have to value these things and these times enough so that I can continuously be disciplined in every area of my life. That's what separates the working class. And I'm not knocking the working class, but when you're an entrepreneur, you have to think different. You have to move different. You can't think when your brain is foggy. You can't think when you're not even clear or have clarity or discipline. How can I be disciplined? How can I call myself a disciplined entrepreneur? I do this, and this, and I can't even be disciplined and steward well over myself. Like, I can't do it. If I can't take care of this and me, I can't be a disciplined entrepreneur. I'm not giving it 110%. There's no way I can show up 110. I thought I was. But if I'm going to perfect this craft, if I'm going to perfect this discipline, I have to perfect it in every aspect of my life. I have to perfect it in my physical. I have to perfect it in my mental. I have to perfect it in every area. I just can't say I can just be disciplined. I can be disciplined and show up to this office every day. That's nothing. That's nothing. I will never forget when God said to me, how can you hear with the cloud? Exactly. You can't hear. If I can't be disciplined with an appointment with myself, how can I be disciplined in all? Like, you can be a leader. You can be a great leader, but what's going to separate you from a standard leader into a great, it's going to be your discipline. What do you do? What is your routine like? How disciplined are you? And what are you going to do to make disciplined decisions, right? Your decisions even have to come from your discipline. Like, I'm really serious about this, but we're going to be speaking about Joshua 6. Joshua 6. Oh, thank you, Amanda. I appreciate it. Joshua 6. Jericho is destroyed. Jericho is destroyed. The wall is coming. God's, amen. God said do everything. Right. We serve a God of excellence. We serve a God of order, but we are out of order a lot of times. If we have an example, we have a good example. If we have an example of what that looks like, we are to mimic that example. And when we're mimicking that example, we have examples in this Bible that teaches us biblical principles and teaches us his character and teaches us the things that he did. If we have that example, then we should be following that in every aspect of our life, not just in some, in every single aspect of our life. Now the gates of Jericho was securely barred because of the Israelites. No one went out and no one went in. So it sounds like they were in bondage still, right? It sounds like it was a stronghold that was stopping them. It says no one went out and no one went in. We're reading from Joshua 6. Then the Lord said to Joshua, see, I have delivered Jericho into your hands, along with its king and its fighting men. March around the city once with all the armed men. Do this for 6 days. That's a commandment. That's instruction. In order for us to get instruction from God, we have to go to God, right? We have to come humble. We have to have a clear mind so we can get the instruction. He said, do this for 6 days. Have 7 priests carry trumpets of ram's horns in the front of the ark. On the 7th day, march around the city 7 times with the priests, blowing the trumpets. So sound the alarm. Sound the alarm. When you hear the sound, a long blast on the trumpets. So now he's specific, giving specific strategy. So not only did he say, do this for 6 days, have the priests carry the trumpets, and on the 7th day, march around the city 7 times with the priests blowing the trumpets. When you hear them, sound a long blast. So you have to be intentional. This told me that the instruction was an intent. When you hear the sound on a long blast, so you have to be paying attention. Your mind has to be clear in order to hear this. On a long blast, the trumpets, have the whole army give a shout. A long shout. Then the wall of the city will collapse and the army will go up, everyone straight in. So Joshua, son of Nun, called the priests and said to them, take up the ark of the covenant of the Lord and have 7 priests carry the trumpets in front of them. And he ordered the army, advance, march around the city with an armed guard going ahead of the ark of the Lord. Because they already know that this is a fixed fight, right? They already know that they are strong in battle. They already know that the job is about to get done. When Joshua had spoken to the people, the 7 priests carrying the 7 trumpets before the Lord went forward, blowing their trumpets, and the ark of the Lord's covenant followed them. The armed guard marched ahead of the priests who blew the trumpets, and the rear guard followed the ark. All this time, the trumpets were sounding. You hear it. The trumpets are sounding. But Joshua had commanded the army, do not give a war cry. Do not raise your voices. Do not say a word until the day that I tell you to shout. So Joshua commanded them the same thing that the Lord had commanded Joshua. Then shout. When I tell you to shout, then shout, because you're going to miss the mark. So he had the ark of the Lord carried around the city, circling it once. Then the army returned to the camp and spent the night there. Joshua got up early. Joshua got up early the next morning, and the priests took up the ark of the Lord. The 7 priests carrying the 7 trumpets went forward, marching before the ark of the Lord and blowing the trumpets. The men went ahead of them. The rear guard followed the ark of the Lord, while the trumpets kept sounding. So on the 2nd day, they marched around the city once and returned to the camp. They did this for 6 days. On the 7th day, they got up at daybreak and marched around the city 7 times in the same manner, except that on this day, they circled the city 7 times because they had specific instructions to march around 7 times. The 7th time around, when the priest sounded the trumpet blast, so Joshua had to be the leader in this situation. Joshua had to be the doer in this situation. Joshua had to be the one to tell them the instructions of the Lord. But if Joshua wasn't obedient, they would have missed the mark. So Joshua said, the 7th time around, when when the priest sounded the trumpet blast, Joshua commanded the army. So Joshua had to wait for the sound, the blast, right? Not just any sound. Exactly. The Battle of Jericho. Not just any sound. He had to hear the blast, right? So once Joshua heard the blast, he immediately instructed. He said, Joshua commanded the army, shout, for the Lord has given you the city. That was by faith, though. Because now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So 1, the Lord gave Joshua instruction, and Joshua was to give the instruction. He did that by faith, and by faith they did the instruction exactly. 11:1. Yes, by faith they did the instruction. Listen for the sound, but not just the sound, the blast. Because they were told when they heard the blast, as soon as they heard the blast, to shout. And it says, for the Lord has given you the city. The city and all that is in it are to be devoted to the Lord. Only Rahab, to prostitute, and all who are with her in the house will be spared, because she hid the spies we sent. But keep away from the devoted things, so you will not bring about your own destruction by taking any of them. Otherwise, you will make the camp of Israel liable to the destruction and bring trouble on it. All the silver and gold and the articles of bronze and the iron and sacred to the Lord, and must go into his treasury. When the trumpet sounded, the army shouted, And at the sound of the trumpet, when the men gave a loud shout, the wall collapsed. So everyone charged straight in, and they took the city. They devoted the city to the Lord and destroyed with the sword every living thing in it, men, women, young, old, cattle, sheep, donkeys. Joshua said to the two men who had spied out the land, "Go into the prostitute's home and bring her out, all who belong to her, in accordance with your oath to her." So the young man who had done the spying went and brought out Rahab, her father and mother, her brothers and sister who belonged to her. They brought out the entire family and put them in a place outside the camp of Israel. Then they burned the whole city and everything in it. They put the silver and gold and the articles of bronze in the urn into the treasury of the Lord's house. But Joshua spared Rahab, the prostitute, with her family and all belonged to her, because she hid the men Joshua had sent as spies to Jericho, and she lives amongst the Israelites to this day. At that time, Joshua pronounced this solemn oath: "Cursed before the Lord is the one who undertakes to rebuild this city Jericho. At the cost of his firstborn son, he will lay its foundation. At the cost of his youngest, he will set up the gates." So the Lord was Joshua, and his fame spread throughout the land. His word had accomplished, and he sent. Yes, and it comes by hearing the word. This is exactly. But it also took his obedience to be obedient to the exact instruction. Sometimes we want to go before God. Sometimes we don't want to wait on the instruction from God. Sometimes we get tired of waiting. Sometimes we don't even know. We don't even have a clue what God is doing, but we try to help him put the pieces together like he needs us to put the pieces together. He don't need us. He needs us to partner with him. But he needs us to obey the instruction, so that when it's time for us to do the thing and it's time for his word to go out, then his word will not return to him void, and he can get the glory from the thing. But if you're so busy trying to go before him, if you're so busy trying to do things that he never told you to do, you're going to have to repeat the cycle again. You're going to have to repeat the test again. Not even that, you're delaying someone else's destiny. You're delaying someone else's destiny. You're delaying what somebody else, you're holding up someone else. The people actually listened to Joshua. The wall of Jericho fell. But it wasn't until the obedience, the instruction from God, that this happened. Because what we learned in here is, if Joshua would have tried to go before God and try to do these things in his own strength, he wouldn't have been able to do it. But because his faith and obedience and a divine intervention, he was able to fulfill God's purpose. The wall of Jericho fell. Because of the instruction that God gave him. Thank you for the heart, me precious. Because of what God said, and Joshua obeyed, and Joshua did, and that was a success. That's just like what God wants us to do. Because when he gives us instruction, he expects us to obey, so that he can get the glory from the thing. And then, listen, not even him just getting the glory. And then he rewards you for your obedience. How good of a God is that? Not only am I going to send you out into an unfamiliar land, not only am I going to change your story, not only am I going to give you a new name, not only am I going to do the things, not only are you going to be uncomfortable in this season, but after all of this, you're going to reap a great reward for it. I'm going to give you the land flowing in milk and honey. I'm going to show you exactly what I wanted to do in and through you through this thing. But until you do this thing, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. It's going to take divine strategy. It's going to take divine intervention. It's going to take a high level of your obedience. It's going to take you to be disciplined. It's going to take me to be disciplined. It's going to take me to get the instruction, the strategy, the wisdom, the knowledge from God. It's going to take some things. God's not going to give you that all the time at the time that you want it. Meaning, you want God to speak to you during the day. I've learned that God speaks most to me in the midnight hours. So it's going to take more responsibility. You're going to have to start getting up to hear what God got to say. He's not just going to speak to you during the day when you want him to speak to you because you feel like you're tired now and everybody done had you now and this job don't wear you out. And you done did your 8 hours and now you done came home. You done cooked for this kid. You done cooked for your husband. You done did all the things and now you have nothing left. He's not going to speak to you when that's all that chaos is going on. Although it's good chaos because you're supposed to be doing the things, but it's chaotic. He's not going to speak to you during those times. He needs to get to you when it's quiet, when your mind is focused, when he has your attention. And most of the time for me, what I've learned, that's in 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning when I'm like, God, I'm tired. But listen, you tired has nothing to do with what I'm trying to do through you. You tired has nothing to do with your calling. You tired has nothing to do with where I'm trying to take you. You being tired has nothing to do with the strategy that I'm trying to give to you so that you can prepare. You being tired has nothing to do with it. In fact, he don't care that you're tired. He don't care about you being tired. I've learned that. I've learned to be humble in all the things. I've learned to be humble even when it's causing me a humbling experience. Like, y'all, he never complained about him being tired. We don't have one. Listen, when they were on the boat and he was telling them to pray and they was falling asleep, he didn't say, oh my God, y'all so tired and so am I. He said, you're on assignment. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're on assignment. I've told you to do this for a reason. And the reason has nothing to do with you. But you are becoming prideful and you're making it all about you. Because you feel tired. Because you feel exhausted. Am I not the God that will give you strength? Am I not the God that will see you through it? Am I not the God that will get in a fire with you? Am I not the God that provides all of your needs? Am I not that same God? You forget that I'm that God when you're tired. You forget that I'm that God when you don't feel like it. You forget. I never asked you to feel like it. I just told you this is your assignment. Because when you work for me, when you're a king's child, when you work in my kingdom, you're going to be on assignment 24/7. This is a 24/7 job. You're not going to, your tiredness is not going to work in this kingdom. When you work for me, it doesn't matter about you being tired. I don't care about you being tired. I care that you're doing what I said. I care that you made an agreement with me. I care that you're in covenant with me. I care that you are my child. You are called. You are marked. You are chosen for such a time as this. And the things that I'm going to do through you is going to go forth on this earth. And I need you to be the one that deliver it. And if you're tired all the time or complaining about you being tired and what you don't have and what you don't have and what you don't see and all of this, you can't work for me. You can't work for me. We have an example who never complained, who never said, I don't want to. Exactly, because you're agreeing with your flesh and situation. Exactly. We have an example. We don't hear in this Bible that Jesus said, oh my God, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired from healing the sick. I'm tired of preaching. I'm tired of teaching. I'm tired of healing people. I'm tired. I'm just tired. There was no place that he said that he was tired. He said it's going to be about his Father's business. Are you going to be about your Father's business? Are you going to be tired? Well, I'm sure he was tired of his disciples. That's a plus. As much as he loved them, I'm sure he was tired of them. Because they were always doubting. They were always Listen, that's us. They were always fearful. They were always asking questions that didn't apply. All he said, you had them right there. You had God, right? Listen, you had Jesus right here with you. But you're still doubting. You're still questioning. You're still wondering. You had the example right next to you. Tried to have a family open discussion about pride. I finally prayed because I find. Exactly. Always doubting with so little faith. It's crazy. We didn't see. My perspective, and this is my perspective. I think Jesus got so intrigued on helping people. Girl, that book be, yes, for sure. I think he was so intrigued and so about his Father's business. I believe he made it. He valued this. This is what we're going to get back to. I believe he was so intrigued about being about his Father's business. He valued his Father so much that he knew if he didn't carry out the things, if he didn't do the things, if he wasn't disciplined to actually take the instruction and hearken to his voice, if he didn't do the things, he would let his Father down. I think he valued him so much that he valued God so much. His job was not to allow him to let him down. He couldn't let him down. And that's how we got to get to a point. We should value this temple. We should value our minds. We should value everything, because if we were created and manufactured by God himself, that means he took time to do these things. He knew us before he formed us in our mother's womb. That means listen, to make each and every one of us unique and different on purpose, for a purpose, you have to know that it was value there. So if that same God valued you with making you, why are you not honoring him or valuing him with doing the things that he told you to do? Some mornings I get on here and God uses my mouth to repeat what he said. Yes, absolutely. If that same God, you must listen, you can't have enough value in the things that he's giving you. You cannot, that's powerful, precious. We cannot value the things that he's given us, the dreams, the visions, the ideas, the creativity. We have to have, the thing is, we have some type of doubt, right? But we wholeheartedly we don't consider these of value, because many are called and few are chosen, right? We don't value these things enough to go forth with them. We value them enough to see them on paper, and value them enough to understand that that's a word from God, that that's prophetic, that that's coming from the Lord. We value it enough to write the vision and make it plain, but we don't value it enough to go forth and produce the fruit that God is wanting us to produce. We can't. Or we don't value the people in our lives enough to push this thing, because everything that God gives us multiplies, right? We serve a God of multiplication. You can't tell me that you value the dreams, the visions, the things that God has put inside of you if you're not consistently working on those things until you see what he saw, what he said. You can't tell me that. Or is it that you don't value the people that's attached to it enough for you to set forth? Meaning, like, when I wrote it's not on there. Okay. When I wrote the vision and made it plain back in 2020, when God told me to start my own. So when I'm about to show y'all this vision board that I have in my office. When I wrote the vision and made it plain, this was in 2021. Now, I had two vision boards. One was family and one was business. This one still sits in my office, and I created this. When I told y'all, I think I told y'all that God told me to open up a medical supply company. I went up for it, but I also was going up for certification for business. And in the midst of going up for two certifications, I also went up for to become a skilled agency. I didn't tell y'all that, but so I was trying to get accredited through the state. But I was going for all these things, and God was like, you only need to focus on one thing, right? Not even outside of that, I was subbing at dental office. I was going to school. It was so much going on. And God was like, girl, you all over the place. I see what you're doing, but it's not time to do those things yet. But I'm about to show y'all this because I created this back in 2020. And yeah. So with this, I look at this every day because I do have the right, because that's who pays me Medicaid, right? But you see this right here, this is intentional because although something tried to stop me at the beginning, I look at this every day because I was one policy to opening up a medical supply. I didn't ask for help, y'all. This is what I'm trying to say. And I'm not boasting or bragging. I just had God, right? I never knew nothing about a medical supply company. Never knew anything about it. But I started talking to people. And I started getting insight. And once I started, listen, all those people that I talked to, they was in Dallas, y'all. No lie. I started talking to people that ran companies like this. And they were willing to speak to me. But because I value this because God gave it to me, right? So I'm not letting it down. I was one policy to being accredited. And on the skilled nursing side and a medical supply company. I have never been in skilled nursing. I run a non-skilled agency, a non-medical agency. I've never done it before. But because what gave me more faith is, Kenyata, you actually did something that 99% of the people won't do. You're the 1%er. You actually went up against something and you didn't back down. You actually had everything aligned, but you was one policy away from being accredited through the state. What that tells me is I'm way more powerful than I think. That told me that. I'm way more knowledgeable than I thought. That spoke to me. And this still will come to pass. Because I look at it every single day. This is going to happen. You see, this right here is what already took place. So this was even before this was anything. So now this has to come to pass. So that happened. One of them happened. Now the other one has to come to pass. Because I said I will be a one-stop shop. One-stop shop. I will have a medical supply company. I will have a medical supply foundation because I understand by working in the medical field. I've done everything in the medical field. Dental, office manager, home care agency, worked in hospital, hospice, all the things, right? Because I understand I told y'all I've always known the operation of things. Because I now understand the operation of things. Y'all see this? This is a real life medical supply company. And that's exactly how I want. Listen, this is so powerful. This is powerful because if you see right here, this is a scrub line right there, right? I have a LLC for my scrub line. So when I tell y'all I'm going to be a one-stop shop, it's not that I forgot any of this. It reminds me of this every single day. I said that to say we're more powerful than we think. For a girl like myself out of Cincinnati, Ohio, to go up against something that big, something that even though the door was closed, to go up against something that big by studying, by being behind the scene while everybody was enjoying their life. I spent hours in my office putting together policies, procedures, finding out the things, finding out how to get accredited. I lost a lot of money in that accreditation, but it won't stop me. Like, the accreditation is super pricey. Not only that, like, ugh, God is so good. Like, even just looking at that, I can just see a couple, like, God is so good. That's all I can say. But for me to do that with no knowledge was amazing. Was amazing. Listen, I ran into one of your handbooks and like three of mine yesterday or the day before. I'm telling you, that's powerful. That's super powerful. Like, now that I even think about it, like, that's powerful on a different level. But I said that to say I have that here. So one thing came to pass. The other thing I'm still going to work on. And I lost money on those accreditations from my part. Listen, that that is precious. We should have been working together the whole time. Like, that's the crazy part. We would have been way further if we would have known each other and working together. We should have been working together the whole time. Like, that's the crazy part. We would have been way further if we would have known each other and working together. That would have been the crazy part. Like, that's the gag right there. Like, that's crazy. Crazy, crazy. And I don't know, I gave them a tour of my office. So I literally was almost in tears this morning because it was a you know how you have like I don't use Snapchat a lot. I'm never on there, but it popped up this memory, and the memory was when I first got my first office, and I can remember sitting in there with one desk, one chair, and I can remember spending like summers. Like, I went through seasons in there with trying to figure it out, the things like just behind the scenes where it seemed like the world was going on, and here I am just knowing that I'm changing the trajectory for my kids, my family. Like, it was like I was serious. Like, I was serious about that thing. But it brought up when I had first furnished my first office, like from going to that desk and I had brought some furniture and supplies in my office, and I was like, wow, here it is. I was at my first office for 4 years. I'm like, here it is on the, 2021, 2025. Wait, I was there for 3 years. Sorry. So here it is going up on the 5th year next year in June. But just to be sitting like the expansion. So listen, let me tell y'all, when I came to look at this office space here, I kept trying to get the number and I kept riding past it and I would get distracted. So then one day I had to detour on the street because of my son's school. And I was like, I'm about to call right now. Like, I'm not writing the number down because I kept writing she went to Jesus Bible. Yes. So I kept writing the wrong number down. But this time I just picked up the phone and dialed the number right away. So as I do this, I went to New York with my daughter for New York Fashion Week. So I had Jeff, my significant other, I had him come and look at it. And I was like, just show me pictures because I'm not going to be there to see it. Because the man was like, I can show it this day. And I'm like, I'm not going to be there. So I need you to go over there and see it. So then he took pictures. He came to see it. And he was like, I told him that this is a without a doubt, she's not going to leave here. She's been journeying, but she counted days. Yay, that's amazing. And he was like, I told the guy, like, she's not going to turn this office down. Like, we might as well get the paperwork together because I know she's not even going to not go, like, not want this place. And so I came back and I emailed the guy and I was like, hey, I'm interested, but can you show it to me? Because I wanted to be here. I like to get a feel for stuff. So I was like, can you show it to me? He was like, yeah. So I came. And then I was like, hey, can you send me the application? Boom. Yeah. So he sent me the application. And then he was like, hey, congratulations. We want to move forward with you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, good. Do y'all know that the people that this is how good God is. The people that was here before left every single thing inside the office. I'm not talking about no baby furniture. I'm talking like I had desks, but these are executive corporate desks. Okay. When I tell y'all I had enough, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 5 of those desks, and I still got like 1 in my back office. I'm going to give y'all a tour. because some people didn't see. So not only did God multiply, I'm just telling y'all to stay humble and watch God be God. Like, not only did God multiply that, but he gave me free stuff. Like, this furniture was so expensive. What good come out of Cincinnati, Ohio? Exactly, in Jesus' name. But I won't be here forever because clearly I gotta move. But this will still be here. But yeah, they are. They are, Amanda. But I'm going to give y'all a little tour. This is my office. You see this desk? This was left here. Not this chair. I bought this chair. But this whole desk was left here. This file cabinet was left here. This file cabinet was left here. This was left here. Oh, even the coat rack. So cute. That was left here. This I spray painted. It used to be silver in my other office, but I was tired of silver, so I had to spray paint it. This I decorated. I had Jeff, he puts up stuff. And then I sold my table here, so I got to get another table. So that's why that vase is there. But this is that. This is my training room where I do CPR. This is like the back office. A bunch of storage stuff. And these right here, some of this stuff is medical supplies that I had bought. But this is just like storage stuff. This was left here. This desk was left here. This copier was left here. This bookshelf was left here. This desk was left here. This table was left here. This refrigerator was left here. I brought my own microwave. They did have one. Let me show you. Not even lying. This desk was left here. This cabinet was left here. And then this is the rest of my stuff right here. So yeah, your obedience will pay off. Your obedience will pay off. So not only did I just have it's 2 doors to get here. So this was a door. You can come in this side. And then that other room that I just showed y'all can come in that side. God is good. God is good. That's all I can say. God is good. Because of my obedience. Just a desk. Yeah, that's 5K and 500 pounds. Exactly. And guess what? Outside of that, I said, well, if this furniture mine's, because I don't want to get rid of mine's if you just let me borrow this furniture. And you know what the man said? You can have it all as long as you take it with you if you ever leave out of here. No lie. No lie. So not only did God enlarge my territory, he gave me more space. Thank you all. So I said, I want a training room so I can train for CPR. My other office was just open. You know what I'm saying? So it was open in the front and then my office was in the back, but it was just open. And then when I opened my mouth and was like, I want a training room. Not only did I get a training room, I received all the furniture. I'm telling y'all, obedience pays off. Obedience pays off. All because I said yes. When God said start all this stuff, I'm like, God, you must not know my bank account. I don't even know what you're talking about. I literally took my last $1,200 to start my business. My rent wasn't even paid, y'all. That isn't even how I move. My rent at my house wasn't even paid. But do y'all know they had those programs back then where they were paying people's rent up for 6 months? Do you know my rent got paid up for 6 months? Right when I made that move, my rent got paid up for 6 months. And then I received a $15,000 grant after that. All because of my obedience. So when I tell people there's nothing they can tell me about God, There's nothing they can tell me about God. I don't care how the rent was paid. The program paid it for 6 months and my utility bill. I don't care. That, listen, I told y'all I prayed for God to, oh, listen, yes, favor. I told y'all to pay for, I asked God to pay off my car, then my car got totaled. I ain't say how, but hey, I'm a roll with it. It got paid off. It was too much for me at the time, God. You know exactly what I didn't need. Do y'all know we was down to one car? I say we, like me and Jeff. We were down to one car because of all the cars got totaled. He had two. And then we were down to one car. And one had to go in the shop. Do y'all know that man, it was 26 degrees outside like this, rode his motorcycle to work for a week? It's be worse to pay the busted broke car, stuck car, though it can't drive. Exactly. So not only did God multiply that, we went from 1 to 6 cars. All of them are paid off besides one. And that's my car. And that's my car. Yep. He's definitely a partner. He's definitely a partner. Yep. It's amazing. Well, now I think we got 5 because my daughter's car is down, so we have to buy her another car over that. But yeah. But yeah, there's nothing that nobody can tell me about God. He is amazing. That's it. That's all. Amazing. So when God says he's going to enlarge your territory, when God's telling you to do something, do it. Even me. I'm at my next level right now. Like, I feel it. So like my season has already started. My new level came with this new discipline for the new thing that God is doing in my life. So the new thing is not going to be just here. The new thing is going to be in Texas. Every time God does something new in my life, he changes something. It's something that's being changed in my life. And this is a change. Getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. In Jesus' name, Imani. It's a new thing. And if I'm going to accept that new thing, a new calling, a new season, then I have to go forth. Good morning. But yeah, I hope this blessed you all. This was good. I hope this increased your faith. That's all I'm trying to do, is increase your faith. Because if God can do it for me, he can do it for you. He's not a respecter of person. Well, that's good, Imani. I'm glad. He's not a respecter of person. So continue being great and just do the things that he's telling us to do. We have to learn to be obedient. Be on this live at 8. Listen, and I'm glad you came. But I pray that this blessed you all. I pray that God's favor just continue to shine upon you all. I pray his hedge of protection around y'all. And my schedule got messed up and I wasn't sleeping right. Well, I'm glad it's back together, Amanda. Yeah. But yeah, I will be back on here tomorrow at, I'm about to say 9 a.m. at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jesus. That's powerful. Thank you, Christina. And I'm blessed that you guys even come here every day, honestly. That was something so different. I got no. That's how you know it's powerful. I've been to a place like that. In Jesus' name, it definitely is. Yes. Now that I will attest to, I agree with. But I hope you guys have a great day. I'll be back on here tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you guys later. Oh, thank you, Amanda. I appreciate that. But yep, I will see you guys tomorrow.